Hello everyone, welcome back to my Reacts channel. I know I haven't posted in 8 months, I apologize, but I'm back now. We are filming this on stream and we were talking about Singapore because I'm from Singapore and how much we miss Singapore. So I'm going to be reacting to a Naomi video, building her dream glass house. So let's react to this video now. I haven't done that in a while. Okay.
Everyone, I'm Naomi and I'll be taking you around my new house today. Come on in.
There's no way you guys, can I just say, a house like this in Singapore is crazy. Like, that is such a good house. For Singapore, that is an incredible house. Not saying that Singapore houses aren't good, because Singapore has beautiful houses, but this sort of house in Singapore, like, if I was walking past this house and I didn't know who owned it, I would look at it and be like, oh my gosh, like, this is a gorgeous house. I want this house. Hi Lex, how are you? Like, I don't even want to guess how much the renovations would have cost on this house. Like, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's millions, genuinely. Okay, let's watch this video. You guys, and okay, these, hold on. Aren't those the Nike, like, what's it called? The Nike, oh, what are they called? The Nike, oh my gosh, what's it called? You guys tell me what they're called. The Nike Bears. Aren't they really expensive as well? Like, okay, here's the thing, right? I'm 24 now. I've been watching Naomi since I was in, like, primary school or secondary school, whenever she started YouTube. Naomi is genuinely someone who I think deserves all the success she has had, because she started off blogging and, like, I've watched Naomi's whole journey over the last, like, 10 years. I love, like, Naomi was the one YouTuber I grew up, I loved watching Naomi. Okay, give me 1 second. That is freaking loud. Oh my gosh! Cool, thank you for the bits. Hold on, I'm just changing my screen. There we go. I just wanted it in the middle of my thing, that's all. Oh my gosh, cool. Look at this house, you guys. Look at this house. It's like, it's incredible, this house. Like,
so we first got the keys to the house about 3 years ago, and we spent over 2 years tearing
like,
down.
you guys,
so we first got the keys to the
that
house.
was, look at that, right?
We spent over
that's the original house. This is the original house, right?
2 years.
And they made it to that. To that from the original house is so impressive.
Down, reconstructing and designing this place. Since young, I've always wanted to.
Oh my gosh, cool! Thank you for the bit. I was like, where's that sound coming from?
Glass house. So that was something I tried to incorporate while designing the place.
She's so pretty, Naomi.
Trying to remind myself to stay practical, because obviously the heat in Singapore and glass don't really gel well together. And budget, of course, because good grade glass in Singapore is really, really costly. I kept those in mind while trying to live my dream. So when I
it's
first
such a
posted
beautiful
a
house
picture of the living area, there were a lot of questions on what these two gigantic things are. They're actually speakers from Estalon. They're amazing quality, and sometimes it just feels as if you have the singer right next to you singing.
It's at least 11. What, this house is 11 million cost or 11 million in renovation?
I guess the main feature of our living area would,
because I think it looks like they would have had to completely knock down.
Oh yeah.
Cool, thank you for the bits. They would have to knock down the entire house to rebuild it.
Lights,
11 million total.
High ceiling, so I really wanted something that would be eye-catching. So
it's
a lot
a beautiful
of hours
house.
And
it's
work
so beautiful.
Was put into installing each of this individual crystal piece manually.
You know what this is like? You know, in Changi Airport. In Changi Airport, you know, you have those like dangling like glass lights. That's what it looks like. It's Bukit Timah. Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense why the house. Because you guys in Singapore, and I think this is the same. Like, if you think of houses in London, for example, are going to be a lot more expensive than houses outside of London. So typical. So in Singapore, you have certain areas like Orchard, Bukit Timah, where the houses are more expensive because of the area it's in.
So the whole house actually uses blinds and curtains from MC2, which specializes in not just regular blinds and curtains, but smart ones too. The ones in the living room are actually motorized.
It's
What I
so
really love
nice.
about it is that it operates silently. You can't hear it at all. And they're
Do you know what I'm curious? In her house, because Naomi is one of the biggest influencers in Singapore, in Naomi's house, how much of the stuff in it was gifted? Like that, I genuinely wonder like how much of it would have been gifted to Naomi. Because I think her bed, I remember seeing something about the bed or something like that.
full height as well. So this is our dining area. It's where our family and friends have our
Oh
meals.
my gosh, she's got even more of those Nike those bears.
And we wanted to make sure that the table space is huge enough to house as many people as possible, because we do
There's
have a huge
more. There's
family
still next to the
and friends
TV,
that come over
and then
too
there's more
often.
behind the dining
Initially,
table.
we had a completely empty wall, and I felt like it was too empty, so we decided to work with design.
Most of it, a lot of product placement in this video. Fair enough, man. If you can renovate your entire house and get so much stuff gifted to you, that's fair play, man. And that's like a thing to her as well, that she's worked so hard in her career for the last like 10 plus years that now she can get so much stuff gifted rather than having to pay for it. Like, that's fair enough,
Adding
man.
on the stone wall as well as the fluted panels to give a bit of depth to the entire area.
It's so nice, man.
So this is our dry kitchen, pantry area.
I'm glad she said dry kitchen, because I was about to say the kitchen is a bit small. For that house, I would expect a bigger kitchen.
And it's a spot where we spend a lot of time at, as well as our guests. So I take a lot of pride into making this space as functional as possible. It's also where I normally start my day off.
So
Okay,
there's a
one
dry
of
and
the
a wet
best
kitchen, I'm
and
guessing.
most convenient part of this entire dry kitchen area is definitely the water dispenser. This is from Wells. I love how you can get any temperature water instantly and at any amount.
Oh my gosh.
Every time people come, they're like, hey, your tap spoiled, is it? How come no water coming out? But actually, it's a touch function.
Oh my gosh, a touch function tap. I have never heard of a touch function tap. Oh
I
my
guess the whole idea
gosh.
of having like a seamless cup pantry is so that we can keep our powder room hidden behind this door.
Oh my gosh.
So we really prioritize the look and feel and the overall design of this washroom because it's the most commonly used one by our guests and ourselves as well in the living area.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so welcome to our home theater and
They have a
karaoke
home
room.
theater as
This
well?
is where we normally host our guests, and if they're not around, this is where we spend a lot of time catching up on shows and watching movies with the family.
Wow,
We
it's
actually
damn
use
nice.
like Dolby Atmos surround sound and with hidden speakers from Craigs. So apart from the
Hidden
sound system, I
speakers.
think what's cool is our starlight above me.
Yeah, I think you're right, Valentine. I think a lot of it, because you know how she's mentioning all the brands? Like, not every single brand, but she's mentioning a lot of the companies that she has. So I think that's why I saw a lot of it is gifted because of the product placements, like you
This whole
said.
ceiling is very much inspired by how the Rolls Royce look and its roof, right?
It's nice though, it's nice. You have to give it. So far,
before
her
we
house
move on
is
upstairs,
damn
I want to
good.
show you guys our stairs, which goes from the first to second level. It was one of the things that I was extremely persistent about because of how much I wanted it. It's hard to achieve because of the curves and glass, but I'm
Oh,
really glad
yeah.
that they managed to figure it out.
Oh yeah!
So this is the second level. We
There's
have
a
three
lift.
rooms on this
There's a
floor,
lift
and
behind
they are
her.
all occupied by the rest of my family members. So yes, let's move on to the third level and the last level where I share with you more on my space.
Wow!
Welcome to my workspace. One
Her
of the
workspace?
things that I wanted when creating the space was having glass doors, and that's because
Is the video volume too soft? I'll make it louder. Tell me, is that better?
I wanted a lot of natural lighting. I really like this work desk because of its glass legs. I like the illusion of having a floating desk. Over here, we have a Mac Studio display. I got this when I moved in, and that's because I think I'll be doing a lot of editing work and designing. Over here, we
Her
have
workspace is so like you can't deny, right? The aesthetic of this house is so nice. It's such a nice aesthetic.
storage space. I tried to keep the room as clean and minimal as possible. Like I mentioned, I wanted a place where I can just be in the right headspace. So I kept everything hidden in these closets. We actually have a hidden bathroom.
Oh my gosh, another one!
So this is another common washroom which connects my office and our living area together. And we have a lot more storage space here.
Cool!
So moving on, this is our third floor's very own living area and pantry area.
The third floor has another living area and pantry.
And adding on to the whole glass house concept, everything is see-through, which is why we had a hard time deciding on what to place in this space. I've always wanted to have my own fabric collection. I'm also very thankful for my friends and guests because they knew that we wanted to have our own fabric collection. So a lot of them actually came with housewarming gifts of these fabrics. So over here we have our own pantry area.
I just wonder, right? You know when you're like, if you live on this house or you walk past and you can see everything inside, especially on the third floor. Like I think the first floor, you're kind of hidden because you cannot you can't see because there's gates around the house. But then the third floor, people can see everything you're doing, like whether, like I don't know how to explain, like everyone can see what you're doing.
We have a fridge behind this door. We have a lot more storage space, and inside we have like snacks and food for our guests.
That must be the children's room, I'm guessing.
So welcome to one of my favorite rooms of the house. This is the kids' bedroom. My plan is to have them co-sleep in the first few years, which is why I tried to keep the whole room neutral. I've always wanted a double-decker bed as a kid. I don't know, it just seems very fun and interesting, and I also asked Kai if that's something that he wants, and he was pretty interested in it. So over here, we have the
double-deck bed is
to
nice.
The second level.
I bet the
didn't want to
storage on
waste
the stairs.
any possible space, so I asked my designer to incorporate some storage space
that's the
in
storage.
these stairs. So we have drawers that we place like blankets, bed sheets, and whatsoever in them.
It's such a nice room, isn't it? This must be their playroom.
Okay, so this is currently the kids' playroom. It's one of the only rooms in the house with almost no fixed carpentry, and that's because I believe one of them would eventually want to have their own space. So we made sure that everything could be moved around. I think what I really like about the room is definitely
their
the
initials.
wallpaper. This is by
Cool! Thank you for 64 bits! Thank you, Cole. Thank you.
What's so special about this wallpaper is that it's customized and designed
Cool!
by me. It has all
Cool! Thank you for another 16 bits! Thank you, Cole. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Is there a streaming space for the kids? What do you mean? Oh, for if the kids want to become like streamers.
initials on it. So like Zyla, mine, my husband, and Kaizo's. Hopefully we don't have a third kid because otherwise I need to switch out this wallpaper.
Must be their bedroom now.
So finally, this is my bedroom. So I think one of the things that I really prioritize is a good night's rest, which is why I put in a lot of budget into getting great bedding, from our mattress to our sheets to our pillows. Everything had to be like, I wanted it to feel like a hotel. The mattress over here is actually the Beauty Rest Granger from Simmons, and over here we have our match marble piece, which is the feature wall of
this is the thing, right? And now I have a question. You know, because they have a theatre room, if like her and her husband want to watch shows, do they watch it in the theatre room, which is all the way downstairs? Or do they watch it in their bedroom because they've got a TV in their bedroom. Like, how often does the theater room and the TV bedroom actually get used? That's like that's what I'm curious of, because you've got so many TVs in the house. Would you prefer sitting in bed and watching TV, or would you prefer like sitting in the theater room? I think it's for family event. Yeah, I suppose so. Family and the kids and
bedroom,
that. I suppose so. That's
we
true.
decided to stupidly cover it with a television.
I love this. I've seen this on her videos. I've seen this. Her dressing room is so nice. So nice.
So connected to my bedroom is actually the walk-in wardrobe. It's where we have our bags,
It's
some
so
of our
nice.
sneakers and clothes are. So right over here in the middle, we have an island where I place some of our accessories and watches, or some of our day-to-day stuff, like my most commonly used perfume and stuff like that. This tabletop is actually a marble piece which we got from Keystone. In fact, a lot of the marble and stone in our house are actually from them. So in these drawers,
It's
we have
so
our
nice.
most commonly used.
I'm surprised she has no fish tanks. Do you know what? I actually just realized that, because if you think about it, in Singapore, right, a lot of landed houses especially has fish tanks, or like an outside area with like a little pond for fish.
Used watches, accessories, and shades, which we wear on a day-to-day basis. And what I love about them are these customized organizers, which I got
It's
from
so
Keeper
nice.
SG. They are
But
fully
it's also-
customizable.
yeah,
from
the koi
size
fishes. Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
the color and the way they are
But isn't it
placed.
also wild
So this is
how
my
much
vanity
clothes she
area.
has?
It's where I get my hair and makeup done
This,
whenever.
you guys, this would be a dream to have. Can you imagine? I would love to have this in my house. I would
I need
love to have it in my
which
house.
is why I needed a good amount of table space to place
It's
all
so
my
nice.
things, and a huge ass mirror so that I can check myself out. Initially, when we were first discussing about
at
the
the clothes,
concept
you guys.
of the walk-in
It's so many
wardrobe, I
clothes.
wanted everything to be open, like an open concept, but I realized that it wasn't very practical, which is why we decided to install these glass doors where you can actually see through, but everything is covered and protected in a
How
way.
much white clothes does she have? And look at the bottom right, you guys. The black shirts all look like black t-shirts. Seems like a hotel. I think that's the vibe she
where
wanted
you
for
won't
her
get
room.
dust on your items.
So this must be their main
This
bathroom.
is my master's bathroom. We have a dual sink. It's a built-in sink. The top is actually from Keystone as well. The reason for a dual sink is because my husband and I can no longer deal with each other's shit by brushing our teeth together in the morning, fighting over one sink. So this is completely necessary. So over here we have a bathtub, mainly because it makes the bathroom look a whole lot nicer. So far it's only been used by both the kids for bubble baths. My husband and I haven't had the luxury of time to utilize it yet, but hopefully in time to come.
Can't people opposite the house see? Or I'm guessing she'll put like blinds down so that people outside cannot look inside her
We'll
house.
get to, chill
I'm guessing,
and relax
anyway.
in this. I think what's interesting is that we also have built-in speakers for the toilet
Wow,
and
this
the
house
walk-in wardrobe.
It's so nice.
Check it out.
Oh yeah, is there a water?
This- I think hopefully in time to come.
No, I think it
we'll
must
get
have
to,
been raining.
Chill
No, I think that's rain.
and relax in this.
I think it's rain.
I think what's
I don't think it's
interesting
a
is that we
water
also
feature.
have built-in speakers for the toilet and the walk-in wardrobe. Check it out. So yes, let's hit that down.
She's got a lift. A lift.
I think one of my favorite parts.
To be fair, you look at the house next door as well. Like the house next door, that confirm is renovated, right? That has to be a renovated house as well. Cause a lot of landed houses in Singapore would have been built a long time ago, where it looked like what Naomi's house looked like before it was renovated. The house next door looks like renovated as well.
I think one of my favorite parts of living in a big family or a multi-generational family is the amount of love and support we get from one another, which is something I always wanted for my children. I remember when I was
She's so
first
pretty.
pregnant with my firstborn,
Naomi
my
is
husband
so
actually
pretty.
asked me if I wanted to move out and live on our own or have his family continue to live with us. And I knew the answer to it immediately. And I guess that's because growing up as the only child in my own family, I always felt very lonely. So it's nice to see my children and their cousins build a strong bond together over the years.
Oh, so they must
let's
live
move on
together.
to this feature wall. So when we were first constructing the house, I really wanted to have something that would not just stand out when you first walk in the house, but from outside the house as well. I actually came up with this feature, which took really long because there were a lot of issues in the
Is
initial
it just like a
phase.
special wall?
But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's something that really wows people from the outside of the house whenever they walk by or pass by, and including our guests as well when we have them over. Okay, so before we move on, I want to show you guys what's behind this little door over here. Ta-da! It's
Oh my God,
a
it's a
Tesla
charger.
for one of our cars, which is an electric vehicle. And speaking of electricity,
Just casually
fun
there.
fact, our house actually runs on solar energy. We have 99 panels built on the roof of our house.
That's quite good though.
Amazing because we save on our electricity bills, and it's great for the environment as well.
That's actually really
Finally,
good.
we are at the
They
pool
must save so much money based off running off solar panels.
side area, which is probably the first thing you're greeted with when you enter our house, and it's also one of my favorite places in this place. It's an architectural pool which focuses a lot on the design aspect. So in order to create a seamless
like
and
a little
luxurious look,
jacuzzi
we
in
try
the
to
back?
avoid any edges and large drainage system around the pool where the water blends and flows nicely to the ground. We also have a mini jacuzzi
Yeah, I was
area
gonna say.
here.
I was gonna say the jacuzzi.
So inspired by many Western homes and probably every family scene of the Fast and Furious series, I really wanted an outdoor space where we could just chill, hang out, and dine with our friends and family. So over
Her house
here
is
we have
so
this
nice.
table from Gray and Sanders.
It's so
the
nice.
2.6
Like if I'm living in Singapore, I would love to live in a house like this. Like you guys need to understand, right? If you're not from Singapore, if you live in a house like this, right, you are considered like rich. Like you're rich in Singapore. And the cost of a house like this in the UK, I feel like would be a lot cheaper, I think, because there's not as much land in Singapore. Like Singapore, if there's one thing, is the land as an issue. Yeah, she's like top 1%. This kind of house is your top 1%. Living in a house with your own land, you are in the top 1% because most people stay in like
It's a
HDBs.
long slab of natural wood. I really like it. We actually coat it with a layer of protection, which is weather resistant. Anyway, check out our really cool outdoor rock speakers. They're from True Audio.
Oh my
And I love
gosh!
how it blends in really nicely with the surroundings. Okay, so we have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like to find out anything else about the house, do leave them in the comment section below. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!
Oh my gosh. You guys, you can't lie, right? With Naomi, I think is only 1 or 2 years older than me. She has achieved so much since she started her career. And I think she deserves this sort of house because of how hard she's worked. But I think that is a gorgeous house. I can only hope that one day I can have a house that is that nice. So I think that's the dream. When you grow up in Singapore, you always look at these like landed houses, and I feel like a lot of people, housewives, would love to live in a house like that. So I hope one day I get to live in a house like that.